Good morning, everybody. It's Roland Comptoir. Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. It is 11:12 in the morning. I am live here with you. I'm very happy to be here with you this morning. I'm not sure if you're there yet, but don't forget, if you are, give me a thumbs up so I know that you are participating in our experience this morning. So I want to thank you for being here. I don't know about you, but I am very happy that it is spring. My bones feel better. My body feels better. How about you? Are you feeling a little bit better? I hope so. We're finally out of that particular time where it was freezing, and I don't do well in cold weather, but I'm glad to be here with you this morning. I don't know about you, but I've had a very interesting week. Have you? How are things going? Kind of crazy, a little overwhelming, intense energy, lots of things happening. I want to thank everyone that's been out to see me at my different events over the last week. I really appreciate it, from Woonsocket to Wilton, Connecticut, and many places in between. I really appreciate having the opportunity to be with you. Don't forget, if you're tuning in from some part of the world, give me a little shout out. Tell me where you're listening from, and I'll give you a shout out and say thanks for joining us this morning. So I wanted to share with you something that's been happening recently, and I'm not sure if it's been happening to you, but I have had some wildly vivid dreams. Oh my God. I don't know if I told you last week, one of the dreams was I was going on a cruise ship with my mother, and she ended up taking off with her old boyfriend and left us there, left us stranded. But it was a nice dream anyways, as long as she was with her old boyfriend, because boy, that guy made her happy. So that's all that matters. As long as my mother's happy, I'm happy. So I've had some very wild, vivid dreams, a lot of energetic dreams. It's like lightning bolts of energy moving through my dreams, and almost a little bit overwhelming, but bright, vibrant colors. It's almost like you can taste and smell and see everything that's happening. And so there was a lot of things going on in those dreams over the last week or so. So it's all good. If I sound a little discombobulated, because it sounds like I'm almost speaking another language. Am I? Anybody? Am I speaking English?
Oh boy.
Because it sounds like it's coming out in a different language. I was just going to say to you that I would... Oh my God, I need...
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah, hello, I'm not on Earth, let's face it. But I was just going to say that I was driving home at 2 o'clock this morning so that I could get here in time, because if I would have stayed over in my hotel last night, I would have definitely missed this. Oh my God. Not that you need to know the inside details of my hotel visits, but I went to the hotel last night. I checked into my hotel. They didn't empty the trash from the last customer, which made me crazy. And, all right, I'm going to tell you.
Oh, no.
The toilet overflowed when I walked in. The toilet overflowed. The trash was a mess. Oh, we're not going down the right road here. I'm sorry. It was chaotic. Maybe it's just a reflection of all the energy that's going on around us. Maybe everything is chaotic right now. Maybe, but the toilet was overflowing, the trash was overflowing. The room was clean, though. Other than those two things, everything was okay. But I didn't sleep over. I wanted to get here. I wanted to be here in my office this morning at 11:11, hoping that I could come in, talk with you. Let me give you a couple of shout-outs. Elaine in California. Oh, it's 8:30, I think, in California or something. Thank you, Elaine, for tuning in. Catherine in Exeter, Mary Ellen in Jamestown, thank you. Karen in Maryland, I'll see you. Hopefully you're on, I'll be in Maryland in June, so I'll see you soon. Melissa in Cape Coral, Florida, I'll see you in January. Lee in Vegas, Mary in Rhode Island, Amanda in Warwick, Deanne in Michigan. Good morning to all of you, and thank you for being part of my experience this morning. So as I've been saying, and I'm trying to get acclimated, I'm trying to get settled, there's been a lot of energy, and it's making everything feel weird. You know, I almost have a state of being unbalanced. I'm going way overboard here. But haven't you felt a little strange yourself? I mean, maybe us being strange together works out okay for everybody. But nevertheless, I'm glad that you're here. I'm going to get my focus any minute. Stay with me. Don't go anywhere. We're going to go where we need to go this morning, and that is, how do we handle all the energy that's happening right now? How do we handle it? How do we manifest the peacefulness that we need in our lives to really get focused? So for me, I wanted to share this with you because even though I've been having these very vivid dreams, there's been a lot of static energy, there's a little bit of chaotic energy, and all I'm doing now is I'm really kind of holding myself together and getting into that quiet space and really staying in that zone because it's really necessary. It's how we clear the energy, and it's how we acclimate or maybe return to what is normal. And so I felt this very intense energy, not a negative energy, just this stuff moving around me. And it's been a reflection in my dreams. They've been bright and vibrant and vivid and full of life. And I imagine that some of you have been having some of the very similar experiences. Have you been having some strange dreams? If so, why don't you put in the stream what some of those dreams are like? And you know, for me, it's been bright colors. It's been everything that's been palpable and audible and tangible. So all these things have been happening in those dreams that have caused a lot of commotion, a lot of energy. Is anybody hearing music? Oh my God, this is going to be weird. I know there's music playing there, but I heard a different sound. Man, I don't know how you guys keep up with this. I don't know what's going on. Let's go to the purple papers because that seems easier to deal with than you having to deal with me this morning because everything is all over the place. So one of the purple papers that's been on my mind is from Matthew, and I think I might have mentioned this one before. And Matthew goes on to talk about the 3 years that he was trying to get himself organized. And he goes on to say, it's funny how life changes so quickly. During the last 3 years, I felt okay. I was restless or something for a few months, and then everything changed. And he wants to go on and tell everyone here that he says, okay, I'm okay, I promise, you know. So there is something very significant about that particular purple paper and what Matthew was trying to say. Now, just for those of you that are joining me for the first time, these purple papers, which you may or may not have seen before, these are them. These all have messages on them. So every one of these purple papers has a message that came to me in my thoughts, my heart, my feelings. And I sat in front of a blank purple paper like that, and I said, what message must I say that will bring healing and love? And then I write what I hear, exactly as I hear it. I highlight things that are important, and I do things with that. So this one here is from someone named Brian. Now, this came on April 22nd. Brian felt weird during his last year. I was finally getting settled in my personal life, he goes on to say. I had no idea that I would leave so unexpectedly. I didn't have a chance to work out some things, he goes on to say. I didn't even have a chance to say I love you or to anyone. I must admit, though, I'm okay now. So in my prayer, I heard this particular message from someone named Brian. Now, I don't know who this belongs to yet. I don't know who this is or why this is. I just know that I heard that. Just like on the 24th of October, this message from Matthew. Now, maybe to you it seems weird or strange, but the fact is, it's how it goes. And the message goes where it needs to go. It does what it needs to do for someone who is going through loss and pain. Here's another one, which I found really interesting. And this is when you know that the messages are channeled. Because this one here is from Kevin. Okay, you see the picture? It has 2 pine trees on it. Okay, and a field. You might see these green sticks, right? The message is, tell my family to still have fun. Do you remember all the games we played? Go to the field, which is highlighted in yellow, right? And he goes on to say other things. The thing that I find intriguing about this paper, when you read it about Kevin, he's very specific about the field. When you read about Brian, very specific about how he was trying to get his personal life together. When you read about Matthew, he talks about the last 3 years of trying to get organized. Each one of these purple papers tells an entirely different story. Each one of these purple papers tells an entirely different story. So it may seem odd to some people that I'm carrying these around with me, but I carry them with me so that I can offer a little bit of support to someone, a little bit of hope to someone, a little bit of encouragement to someone about the loss of your loved one. Let me give you a couple of shout-outs. Mary in Warwick, thank you for tuning in. Vicky in Jamestown. Sherry in Florida. Valentina in Connecticut, thank you. Amy in Coventry, Rhode Island. Cynthia in Wilton, Connecticut. Cynthia, was that you that I saw at TJ Maxx yesterday? Kimberly in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And Brenda in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, thank you so much for joining this morning. So these are the purple papers.
Someone wants you to read Brian again.
Somebody wants me to read Brian again. Okay, here we go. Brian felt weird during his last year. I was finally getting settled in my personal life. I had no idea that I would leave so unexpectedly. I didn't have a chance to work out some things. I didn't even have a chance to say I love you to anyone. I must admit, I'm okay now. So that is the message from Brian, dated 4/22/2018. So someone will feel a link or connection to that message. Now, last week I posted a couple of purple papers. Let me find them because I had Diane put Facebook on them. So last week there was a paper about Ronald and Michael John. And someone in the stream here, or in a private message, I don't seem to remember, felt a lot of energy about this purple paper. So we may joyfully find the rightful owners of these 2 purple papers. If these purple papers mean something to you, then, send us a note so that we can address it with you. The other thing is, there are purple papers on my website right now, is that right, Carrie? That you can go look at to see if any of those purple papers mean something to you. And for those of you that are interested in the purple papers, as you already know, I signed a nice book deal with Llewellyn Worldwide Publishing, and there's a very exciting book coming out about the purple papers and the stories behind them. So it's very thrilling. Hey, Betty in Fall River, thank you. Connie on her way to Texas. Thank you, Connie. Dawn in Providence. Michael in Connecticut. Mary in Warwick. Karen in Vero Beach. Thank you, Karen. Susan in Storrs, Connecticut. Shannon maybe in Burrillville. Thank you. Pat in Woonsocket. Mary Beth. Hey, Mary Beth, how you doing in Martha's Vineyard? I hope all your adventures are going along. And Katie in Burrillville, thank you so much for being part of the experience. Last week, I did say to you that if you had a question, you could ask a question in the stream. So before we go off the air here, any couple of questions you want to post, if I have an answer, I'll share it with you. Right now, we're dealing with these 3 purple papers and all of the energy that they present. Let me go back to something. Now, I've said this to you before, and I've said it over and over again. I don't really believe that you Oh,
Shanna like a banana.
Oh, Shanna like banana. Shanna like banana. Oh, I'm sorry. I pronounced you wrong. Totally wrong. I'm sorry. I don't think anyone really needs a medium, per se. I think that sometimes we need the support of another person. Sometimes we need the love and care of another human being. Sometimes we need the validation. Sometimes we need a little bit of help when we are going through a challenging time, such as grief and loss. So that's when someone like me comes into play, I guess. Now, I've said to you from the beginning, I don't like the term medium at all. It just has never sat with me. It's never been something inside of me. I think I'm just a guy trying to bring a little bit of peace to the people that I meet and hope that that peace brings a little bit of ease and a little bit of love and a little bit of clarity. Because the one thing I know the message does, and this is what you should take with you, is that a message from the other side gives us permission to live our lives. It gives us permission to live our lives knowing that our people are standing by our side, knowing that the continuity of love and the love that we shared with that person is much more powerful than anything else. That love is even more powerful than death itself. So there's a lot of energy about this. And I think that it's important that we do everything we can to stay as connected as we can to each other in this life that allows us to have the continuity of that experience after things change. Because life changes. We can't get around it. It just changes. It moves, it shifts, it flutters, it does what it does. It's been doing the same thing since the beginning. And all it does is move forward. Someone wants us to say hi to Stephen Lupo for them. Okay, hi, I'll tell him, Brenda.
Something going on?
Something going on, Diane says. So I think it's, the naysayers of mediumship say it's fake. The religious people say it's against God. I believe in the higher power, God. I think that's what this comes from a place of love. And if it comes from a place of love, then does it in fact help to support? Because I think that's what matters here. So there are a few purple papers on the table this morning. I'm going to take a couple of questions that Carrie has written down. Even if you have one there, Carrie, whatever you've got.
People that want to know about their mom and dad, something.
Yeah. Let's just see what we have here. Does her dad... it just says, does her dad know she was there? And I don't know what that question means.
Decisions were made.
Yeah, but I don't understand the question. So, okay, I'll have to look at the questions after we get off air because I don't understand that question.
If dad's passing was so hard, does he know I was there and that decisions were made?
Okay, who is that from? Give me the first name. Okay. So let's all do something now. We're trying to get a message for Lisa from her father. So let's do that together. Let's see what happens. Let's do that together. Let's focus on that energy. Now, I don't know who Lisa is and certainly don't know who her father is. But here's what happens when a message comes. It kind of changes my energy a little bit. I start to feel a more calming vibration or something. Well, I need to say something to you, Lisa. Are you still there? Here we go. The story isn't necessarily about what you're asking, though. That's the thing that always intrigues me. It feels like his message is about how hard it was for you to watch the changes. To see him change from who he was to who he became through that last week. He's talking about the last week. He's talking about that. When I say he's talking about that, it's not like I'm hearing a voice right now. It's like I feel an expansion within my heart. So when I say he's talking about it, I'm having a feeling inside of me. That feeling kind of expands and opens my heart, which allows more of that message to come through. And the message is not about necessarily the one last moment, but it is about the last week. And how you watched a man that you loved change, not necessarily change in size. I don't know why I have to say that to you, but to change physically and to change into what he became, and that was a sick person. For some reason, the number 7 strikes me here. Now, I don't know why it strikes me. It just strikes me. It does strike me very much. It does something to me. So I understand that that means something. Does it have a relationship to what happened to him, or how many days he was sick, how many hours he was sick, or what he went through? Is it your age at 7 years old? You have to figure that part out. But it strikes me. Just like that same feeling that expands me, something is happening here. And your father is trying to relieve you, I think, of the worries that you may carry. So, as a nurse, you know, I am a nurse by profession, and I know that hearing and feeling those sensations are still part of us. I mean, I've had patients who were dying who responded to some physical or verbal communication. Even if we don't see that reaction, there's something that happens that we hear and we see and we feel. I'm very convinced that my mother heard my voice near the end of her life. I'm very convinced of that. Now, I didn't see her open her eyes and say, "Hey, Roland, what are you doing here?" I didn't. I had a deep knowing in me that she understood that my love was present for her. So that doesn't disappear. I think what your father, Lisa, is trying to tell you is that he's just sorry you had to go through so much. Mikey? Mikey? M-I-K-E-Y?
Mikey James.
Mikey? Diane, look in the 2018 papers for Mikey, just out of curiosity. That seems very familiar to me. Melissa, are you still there? Okay, we're not going to take any more questions now because I have enough questions here.
Michael.
No, it would say Mikey. Maybe it's not there. I don't know. I have a feeling about it. Melissa, let me see what I feel about this, because there's something about Mikey that's strong. Can I tell you, I mean, let me just say to you that when you say Mikey, I feel my heart feels funny. And that's weird, maybe. It's almost like a weird vibe in my heart. So I don't know if that means something weird like that happened to him. That's where my feeling is. You know, here's the other thing about my job as a channeler, as a messenger. I don't say things because you want me to say them. I say them because I have a very strong feeling about that. Susan, your father wants me to tell you that he's talking more about your children than he is you. That he's been helping your kids and helping you to stay strong. So today I hear a little bit about Lisa's father in the 7 days. Today I feel a little bit about Mikey and this heart thing, this weird feeling in the chest. And Susan's dad talking about, when I say talking, I mean feeling, all about the energy of the kids. And that your father wants you to know that he's very proud that you've stayed focused in your life, that you've stayed centered in your life. You know what I mean? Because it hasn't been an easy life for you, I guess. And that somehow I'm hearing him or feeling that for some reason. That's what I have to say about those messages. You can keep the questions going if you'd like. I just will not be able to answer them all, obviously. Oh, the last 7 days of that guy's life, Lisa's father's life, he was on life support. That's what he's talking about then. Maybe you should leave this moment knowing that that there's peace around him. So, I feel like I can't let you go, all of you. Like we're just supposed to be here together and be connected. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Last week at an event, right, there was a guy in the audience. I told him that his mother wanted him to go to Home Depot and buy roses. You gotta love when they do that, don't you? And then another girl, oh, this is a funny story. There was a girl in the audience, and the grandmother said, I'm upset that you didn't go to church, or something like this. Well, that event was on a Sunday. That was the first day she ever missed church. And she got scolded by the grandmother. That was exciting. A lot of exciting things that happen in those moments. See, it's not all about the I love yous. It's about you should have gone to church. Go to Home Depot. Buy some pink roses. You never know what they're going to share with you, what they're going to tell you, but they are going to tell you that they love you. And they are going to tell you that they're standing by your side. And in between that, you're going to get all these other messages. So listen, I want to say to you, thank you. I appreciate you being here with me. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen next Wednesday. Everybody, please pay attention. You two. Not you two. Not you out there. These two that are working here. Everybody pay attention because next Wednesday, and I'm not sure how we're going to work this out because everything has changed here, but next Wednesday, and just keep your eyes open for this between now and next Wednesday, I have a feeling we are going to be on location somewhere. We might even be on the street somewhere. We might even be at TJ Maxx. No, I don't know where we're going to be. But next Wednesday, we're going to be on location somewhere. You're going to get an invitation to come and see the Purple Papers somewhere. On the street, at a store, at a place. Hey, look, if you're someone out there who has a public venue where we can come live, you can send a little note to us. And we can go live next week at your location. So send us a note because we would love to go live. And you will be invited to come on in, view the Purple Papers. Carrie, Diane, and I will be there. We will be live. And P.S., we may be live every Wednesday now for the rest of our lives. We may be live out there somewhere, but at least next week, if you have a location, I don't know who you're pointing to, if you have a location and you are in the Rhode Island area, since that's easiest for all of us here, then we will come to you. But between now and then, be on the lookout on this Facebook page that we will be announcing where I'll be live for a live recording, a live Facebook experience. Until next time, I send you love. Thanks for being there, everybody.